Hey everybody, how's it going? We're in some heavy traffic, it's slow moving, and it comes on the back of moving house, which they say is one of the most stressful things you can possibly do in life. I don't think they're wrong. But anyway, so to pass the time, it's a long journey back to Cornwall, we've decided that we're going to do 21 questions. So to start with, Micah's going to ask me 21 questions. If I can coax her into asking her a few, I'm going to ask her some as well. Let's go. It's quite an easy one. If I had a time machine, I'd definitely go back in time just to experience a period of the last century. I quite like the idea of experiencing what it was like post-war and how that changed life for people. So that would be my choice. Home on a beach or in the mountains is a tricky one because my instinctive answer would have always been the beach. But as our kids have grown up, they've kind of fallen in love with riding bikes. Riding bikes in mountains is obviously amazing. If that's a mountain bike, a road bike, it doesn't really matter. So I think the mountains I would go with, but I want the good weather. Although actually, you know what? I've never been in the snow in the mountains properly, so maybe that's not too bad either. Favourite game as a child?
Yeah.
I don't remember playing games. Lego, if that's a game. Building things with Lego.
Yeah.
Riding my bike. Messing around outside. Climbing around on the hay bales on the farm. That was good fun.
Oh yeah.
The food I crave most often.
Chocolate.
Yeah, probably chocolate. Or steak with a massive salad. Steak with a massive salad with beetroot and mozzarella and tomatoes and balsamic glaze over the top. Something like that, probably.
But that's not most often though.
That's not the most often.
Chocolate.
Definitely chocolate, yeah. Anything sugary, basically. I really want to go to some of those tropical islands that you see in the pictures where the water's crystal clear, the beaches are sandy, they're white, there's palm trees, you sleep in a little shack.
Yeah.
That's where
Togo.
Hey?
Wasn't it Togo?
No idea what they're called. That's where I want to go, somewhere paradise. I just want to go to paradise. Is that too much to ask?
Probably.
My dream house would be... I think that's changed over the years. I think my dream house now would just have loads of space outside so that you could do whatever you wanted with the land. Ideally on a hillside. I do really like the idea of living on a hillside, just so you can have gravity help you with certain bike riding activities. I'd like a big kitchen. I'd like a big living room. A swimming pool, is that too much to ask? And then after that, as long as the bedroom's nice, it's got a nice shower, bathroom. Basically, something that I'm unlikely to ever buy.
Doesn't sound like my wooden cabin then.
Not quite like your wooden cabin. That's quite easy. I would own, so like our red camper van, but then the 4-wheel drive version, jacked up suspension, big beefy off-road tyres, and then a few slight changes on the inside to make it a little bit more practical so we can go away for longer. Solar panels on the roof, make it completely off-grid and overlanding, as it's called, overland capable. Maybe a roof tent, that sort of thing. I'd have a fast estate car like an Audi RS6, and then I'd want like a little shopping car, like a little town. I know, you know what? I saw it earlier. One of those Volkswagen Amarok type things, so a big pickup truck type thing, just so you can throw bikes on the back of it. But then, I don't know, I'm torn between a shopping car or a big pickup type truck thing. Neither of them are that practical apart from the thing they're designed for, but yeah, the first two cars, they're easy. It's the last one that's tricky. Always brings a smile to my face. Chocolate? What always brings a smile to my face? The perfect descent on a bike. Never, even if I was in a bike race and I was dropped and I was chasing to get back on, if I went through a corner that I'd never been around before and it was just perfect, that always makes me smile. Like I genuinely enjoy descending. Same on a mountain bike. Otherwise, when my kids tell me they love me, that never ceases to be quite special. The way the dogs greet us in the morning, like you can't not smile at that, even when their tails are clanging around on everything, waking everyone up because they're banging the doors. My wife being sweet to me. Quite a few things actually. There's a lot more than that as well, but that's a start.
I thought for a second that wasn't included.
The song that reminds me most of my life. That's really difficult. I thought there might be a music question. Chumbawamba, tub thumping. I get knocked down, but I get up again. That seems to be quite a common occurrence, and not even related to crashing. That's tricky. How can you, like, it depends on your mood, doesn't it? It depends on how, like, what sort of reflective mood you're in and how you're looking back on your life. Also, I'm actually not that old, so to have one song define my childhood and my early adult years is quite difficult. What is more important, truth or happiness? Happiness is more important. Truth's important, but you can tell a white lie if it makes people happy. So happiness is more important. Do you get to the end of your life feeling fulfilled because you were truthful, or do you get to the end of your life feeling fulfilled because you were happy?
Happy.
So I genuinely believe no one wants to be famous. I don't think anyone that grows up thinking they want to be famous, I don't think they really understand what that entails. Basically, it means you've got no privacy. So I'd rather be rich than famous, easily.
Yeah, I would agree.
If I could change anything about myself, what would it be? In what regard? As in a physical thing or
Anything.
anything?
It says anything.
Well, I'd like better teeth for a start. But after that, anything. What else would I change? I wish that all of the ideas that I ever had, I actually completed. So a friend of mine, Nick Joyce, and I used to come up with all these ideas, and when we lived quite close to each other, we decided finally, no, we're actually going to start doing these things. And I wish I applied that to every aspect of life. So as soon as I thought of something, oh, go and do that straight away. That'd be good. Intelligence, trading looks or intelligence for each other. Wow, that's a difficult one. I guess I've got a lot of both of them to trade, luckily. So, what would I trade? Oh, looks for intelligence, right? There's no point being good looking if you don't have the brains to go with it. So I think being intelligent is probably more important.
Yeah.
And so I think I'd trade good looks for a little bit more intelligence. What animal would I be and why? I'm always torn between something that can climb really well, like a big cat, like a really big cat, or something that can fly. I think both would be amazing things. So some sort of predator. I feel like big cats probably have more fun, but then if you're like an eagle or a vulture, you can fly, and that's also quite good fun. I want to go with a large eagle, but I'm not going to specify which eagles because I'm not really very good with my eagles, my brands, my manufacturers. If I could be trained up by a top professional in any profession, I would choose to be a carpenter, because woodwork, I don't think anything looks more stunning than really good quality woodwork. So Miles Mitchell, if you are watching this, here's my offer for an apprenticeship.
Train him up.
If my life was a movie, I think it'd have to be called Life on Wheels. Not just because of lots of bike riding, but lots of moving house as well.
How many times have we moved house in the last 13 years that we were together?
We did count it up, isn't it actually 13 times?
13 times, yeah. So that's once.
13 years on average. We've never stayed anywhere longer than 2 years.
No.
Actually 2 years and 4 months, I think it was. But that was an anomaly.
But how have we moved 13 times whilst I think somewhere we've lived for 2 years?
Some places we only stayed for a few months, that's why.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I wish I was really... What do I wish I was really good at? What do I wish I was really good at? That's a difficult one. I don't know that there is anything that I wish I was really good at necessarily that I've not tried. Running. I'd like to be good at running. Running's the most awful thing ever, and I've tried it, and everyone keeps on saying, oh, it'd be really nice when you get to the point where you feel like you're flowing, but I'm slow and it just still feels awful. So I'm going to choose running. If I was a dog, that's quite a difficult one. I love both my dogs, but I still love to have a German Shepherd.
Yeah, I thought you would say
But
that.
if I was a dog, what would I be? Probably a Jack Russell. Like, I'm not... I'm not actually that tall. But they're athletic, they're dogged, as in they never give up. They're affectionate, they're loyal. So I think a Jack Russell, and we had the cutest, tiniest Jack Russell ever, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So I feel like actually that would probably be a fair choice.
I really expected you to say just the German Shepherd.
I don't think I resemble a German Shepherd. Protective, loyal, loving, friendly. Yeah, maybe, but I don't see myself as a German Shepherd.
But a Jack Russell. I didn't expect that.
Little muscular Jack Russell. Favourite time of the year? Easily summer. I don't know why we need 3 other seasons. If it was like this, as in 19.5 degrees.
Where's the sun?
Can't hear me, you can turn the microphone away. If it was sunny like this all the time, I'd be quite happy. I think we'd all be happier as well. Am I addicted to anything? I'm definitely addicted to exercise. I get really stressed, like my heart starts to feel horrible. My body feels just constantly stressed if I don't exercise. So I'm definitely, whether I like it or not, addicted to exercise. Also, weirdly, I get into trends of doing stuff, which is, I suppose, the forming of an addiction, isn't it? So if you eat chocolate in the evening or you drink alcohol in the evening, and you do that a few days in a row, then it's quite hard for me personally to break that trend, and that carries on through with lots of things that I do as well. I don't think I'm superstitious, but I'm super curious. The other day, a black cat walked across in front of us, and I couldn't for the life of me remember if that was good luck or bad luck. All I do know is that Yanto would often say it's bad luck for the cat, especially if I hit it. Well, it's quite easy to answer that one because it is the only thing that's actually important is family. So that's my family and also my created family. So yeah, there is nothing more important. And I think that's the big problem in life sometimes, is we get distracted by all these other things that we want to do and we forget what actually matters. I am competitive, and I've spent most of my life telling myself I'm not. So that's in bike races or anything. Like I ride for 180 kilometres and be like, no, it doesn't matter, I'm not competitive. You get to 25 k's to go and it's like, alright, now I'm competitive. So yeah. Even sitting at the traffic lights in the car, you sit there and you be like, oh, I wonder if this person wants to race. And I sat there on my bike, clipped into the pedals at the traffic lights. Do the same thing. Yeah, I'm way more competitive. And it's bad, and it even comes into my talking. So I talk quite quickly, we all know that. I'm sure some people probably watch this at 0.75 on YouTube or full speed. But sometimes I think to myself, oh, how quickly can I do this? And basically any job I do it's all about how quickly can I do it, and it's just a race against myself. Like I'll bet myself a certain time, I'll make a note of what time I start something. That's it, race on. Life goals: make sure my children grow up happy and healthy, make sure my marriage stays happy and healthy, make sure I stay happy and healthy, and then work out what it is that I need to do to facilitate all of those things. Just experience things, enjoy what we're doing, and spend time with the people that matter. There's one movie that I must have watched 100 times already.
Bad boys, oh, what you gonna do?
That's going to go in there now, yeah? Let's get straight in there. Bad Boys 2. I must have watched it 100 times already. Pretty much know every line, but I just like it. I don't know why. Do I have any fears? Just health-related issues with my family. What else is there to actually be scared of anymore? I feel like I've pretty much lost everything I spent my entire life working for. Now there's genuinely nothing left to be scared of. So it's kind of nice in a way. But at the same time, yeah, like the real fears in life are just that your family are healthy, right? And your friends, and that nothing goes wrong, and that they're okay. If that's all good, there's nothing else really to be scared of. It's the worst thing, really. It was really weird because even though I spent my entire life dreaming of going and doing that job, as soon as you have people that you'd rather be spending your time with, your wife, your children, things like that, it's then not the same. And I just have, on a Friday evening, for example, when I was packing my bags, just have this feeling of dread and stress, and it wasn't much fun.
It is a mess. It's literally a mess. All your stuff is always everywhere. You live out of a suitcase most of the time.
I'm clean, even if I make a mess. Yeah, I'm clean, even if I make a mess and it's untidy. There's a difference.
Well, and if I'm working, then for 3 days the dishes haven't been done. So are you clean?
Yeah, but I'm clean. The dishes aren't. There's a difference there.
Oh, I don't know. I think the hardest thing is that you, especially when you were pro continental, you were away from home quite a lot. So the hardest thing is that you're getting out of the routine each time that you come back, mostly. So you get back for a couple of days, and then you're gone again. But it just takes you as a family with 2 young children completely out of routine. I think that's one of the hardest things. Why did I stop racing? I stopped racing because I wasn't any good at it.
But you did it for years, and then all of a sudden one day you just decided not to race.
Well, I stopped racing in Holland basically. Actually, when I really stopped racing was actually after my dad had a very bad accident, and at that time I didn't really know why I was still doing it, because I wasn't per se the person that had any results. I like riding a bike still, but I think I didn't see any point of me doing any racing anymore because there were no results basically.
Meeting me.
Yeah, meeting you basically. I know, like we had lots of friends actually within cycling. It was a really nice world actually to be in, but yeah, probably indeed the 2002 meeting Chris.
Aww.
And then 2007 again. Yeah, best. I think I would change the amount of moving we've done.
Right.
Yeah, it's been pretty tiring actually. And if I could turn back time, I would really try, or would have changed things for that. Maybe even living actually mobile, so we could have lived wherever we wanted to be basically, and not per se in a house, because that's one thing that we constantly get back to is, if only we knew the life of like camper vans, for instance, before we started our own, I think we would have chosen to do that and be more, more mobile, rather than moving house all the time. Yes, very nervous, especially when I could watch it, like things like the Tour of Britain, and everyone was still together and the bunch sprint was coming up. I do remember not quite liking to see that, to be honest. That made me really nervous, because Chris is a very good sprinter and he would be in the front for a bunch sprint, and it just can look so sketchy and so scary. You just see them all move left and right. No, definitely don't like it. No, made me very nervous. But we've done that a couple of times. One of the races was the race of the Ronde van Midden-Nederland, which was nearby where I'm from, and we stood there with my family and we just saw him coming, and we just all just stood there screaming, and he won the race, and it's just really, really amazing. And then I've been to some tour series where you've won a race as well, and it's just amazing to see. But at the same time, I'm very nervous when it comes to a bunch sprint. I think we have to just accept basically that your partner wants to do the racing. Really, it's part of their personality, it's part of them. It's not always easy really to let you go and do whatever you want to do, but yeah, I think it's important for them to do what they want to do basically, really.
Right, that'll do. I'll see you all again soon. hopefully you learned something about me that you didn't know before, and hopefully it was interesting